So yeah, there's a girl and she's watching her mum preparing some roast beef. And the girl's watched her mum do this loads of times before. And she's noticed that her mum always chops off the last couple of inches of the hunk of beef and chucks it in the bin. And one day she says to her mum, "Mum, why do you chop the last couple of inches of the beef off and throw it away?" And her mum looks at her and goes, I don't really know. That's just the way my mum taught me how to do it. You know what? When I speak to your granny next, I'll ask her. So, some time elapses, and then the mum speaks to the grandmother and says, "Mum, when you were teaching me how to make roast beef when I was younger, how comes you always used to chop the last couple of inches of the beef off and throw it away?" And the grandmother goes, "I don't know, that's just the way my mum always told me to do it." Yeah. So anyway, all three of them are pretty confused. The daughter, the mother and the grandmother. So they eventually go and see the great grandmother. Now she's still alive, she's in her 90s, she's still got her faculties, and they go to her and say, "Hey, how comes you always used to cut the last couple of inches of the roast beef off and chuck it away before cooking it?" And the great grandmother goes, "Did I?" And they all go, "Yeah, you did." And she goes, "Oh yeah, it's because the pan was never big enough for the joint of beef." As Jesus said, "Let him who has ears hear." He also says something else, which is quite relevant to that story, and that is the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Sage words there from the Son of God.